What's up, everybody? I'm Dawangthang, and today I'm here to talk about my predictions for the new Smash game coming out. So, obviously, trailer dropped today, so I just wanted to give my just thoughts and opinions on what I saw. So, at least with me. So, when I first saw the trailer, like right after the Splatoon's 2 stuff, and I saw like it going on, after a bit, it was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it was going to be something Smash. It was going to be Smash related, just because it kind of dragged on for too long. It kind of made no sense for them to just advertise another Splatoon thing, so it had to be some type of crossover. But the second I saw that logo, like, holy shit, that was intense. It's like one of the most intense Smash Brother trailers they've ever done. It literally just looks like all these characters are coming out from hell or something like that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I did want to talk about the more interesting aspects of the trailer that we did see, which is obviously the silhouettes right here. So, the two that we got a good look at, obviously Mario and Link, specifically Breath of the Wild Link, is kind of depicted here, were shown off in the trailer, which does lead to some really interesting speculations about this. So, obviously, the first thing that everybody was saying was going to happen was that this was going to be a straight up port of Smash 4. So, obviously, we have new characters, we have new costumes, or maybe new move sets. So there is going to be different things. So no matter what, there is going to be a balance change, or if like your characters aren't touched, there are going to be new elements in it. So, but the interesting thing is this: the way that this was presented, I honestly believe it's going to be a new game. I do think it's not going to be drastically different from Smash 4, but I do think it's going to be a new game. Like mechanically, I could see some things change. I could see Rage going away. I could see DI changing back to the way it used to go, or maybe they'll implement vectoring again, which kind of interesting. People just never die. Just imagine playing as Bowser, and you actually can never die before 102%. It would be kind of nutty. But it's definitely a possibility too. One of the more wild ideas we were throwing around, at least me and one of my friends, is that if they brought back directional air dodging, but it was like Smash 4, so you had infinite, so you just infinitely directional air dodge. It's like, it'd be nutty, but it wouldn't be completely busted because there is like time afterwards that you can punish. It would just be kind of hilarious to see though. But it would be an interesting mix. So the main reasons why that I do think that this is going to be a new game was, of course, we're having the new character, so that's a big thing. But the other thing too is just the way that it's presented. So if you compare the tone of the way like this looks compared to like what you saw when Smash 4 was being announced, like villager poster. Because like when Smash 4 was being announced, this was the type of imagery that you were seeing. You were just seeing like, hold up, let me bring up the actual image. Okay. It's like, this is what you were seeing. You were seeing, like, really happy, cutesy looking things here. Everything was nice and, like, jovial, and just everything was just kind of just happy and excited. Where this is, like, they're coming from hell. Like, they're coming for your ass, which is a really, really different vibe. So the other thing, too, is when you do play this part of the trailer again, you'll notice there's a different theme compared to the standard Smash 4 one, which is another thing that leads me to believe that this actually is not going to be just another straight-up port. I do so at most this game has had at least 2 years in development because development on Bayonetta stopped like 2 years ago. So then like after that was completed, I'm pretty sure they just got straight to working on this game because they knew the Switch was coming out, so they had access to hardware probably even while Smash 4 was coming out. So I bet you they've been working a lot on that. They were probably working on porting other characters, and they probably had like a small team just working on different mechanics while the whole DLC fiascos were going on. But regardless of that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say about this specifically. Yeah, so if it's a port, obviously all the same characters should be in there, DLC included, the stages. Hopefully some of the 3DS stages will be included in there. So we'll have a new stage, probably with like Splatoon. I most likely would have some more characters too. I do believe we'd get like an ARM representative. They're a very strong candidate, and probably a Xenoblade 2 one at the very minimum. I do think that we would have at least 3 additional characters, and then if Breath of the Wild Link is different, because if you play the game, his moveset should be fundamentally different from what Link has in basically in all the Smash Brothers out there. It would probably have like 4 new characters right there if it was just a new port. But before we get into that, let's talk about these silhouettes, which I did find to be the most interesting thing. So there are a lot of really blurry images, and there's some better, higher resolution ones out there. And so far, this is the most accurate thing that I can agree with. So when you look at off to the left, there's going to see a really, really weird shape. But honestly, it does kind of look like Yoshi. When you look at it, you'll see two humps and then like a big one right there. So I do think the left side's Yoshi. The one right next to him, I do think is Pit. It just looks like a little boy with a wing. And then you can kind of see like a staff too. So it lends itself to Pit. So most likely, Pit's coming back. You know, it's a favorite character of Sakurai. So it makes sense for him to come back. DK, obviously, is going to be that silhouette. So this one, for a while, people were thinking might be Ice Climbers. Which I was thinking too. But then once they finally realized that there was a crown there, it's definitely got to be Peach. When you look at this silhouette down here, you'll actually see a lot of people were thinking this was Kirby, but when you look at it, you do see a little flip there, and you don't see it on the other side. It's like, obviously, it could be Kirby's arm, but I'm going to take a wild guess that that's most likely going to be Ness. To me, I'm pretty sure that the original 12 characters are all depicted here, so I think that's kind of a safe bet. So yeah, it's like you have Yoshi, DK, Ness, Mario over here, because we saw Mario and Link in the trailer, so we got him. So one of these two characters is definitely Marth. I'm not 100% sure of this one, but I'm more inclined to believe that this one is Marth. You know, melee staple, so it makes sense for it to be here. This one's Link. It had the shield and also had the bow, so it just made the most sense. But some people are thinking instead of this being a shield that this is actually Luigi as well. But it could make sense for it to just be a shield. But if not, it's Luigi. Luigi's supposed to be taller than Mario, which is the only reason why I hesitate to say it's him, but the head is at least narrow if it is him. This one, just the way it's posed, pretty sure that one is Sheik. The other speculation was that it could be Captain Falcon as well, which is possible, because it could be Falcon just doing like a cross-arm pose or something like that, but you normally don't see Falcon doing things like that. Down here, you'll see two ears that distinctly look like Pikachu, so up here, definitely Pikachu. Then you have a round character here, so a lot of people are either speculating Kirby or Jigglypuff. Because the other one too is like we have like another round character here. A lot of people are speculating Wario, which I'm a little bit more inclined to believe, but I want to believe that's either Kirby or Jigglypuff, just because so we have the original 12 here. But the thing is, he is taller than what's down here, where Kirby and Pikachu are about the same height, so this kind of makes sense. Samus, definitely this character, just because the shoulders and everything. It's too hard to miss. Now, this one over here, nobody's exactly sure. Some people speculated Zelda, but Zelda would be a little bit too tall. Some people were thinking also Bayonetta as well for like one of these two characters. And the interesting thing I want to point out is this right here. This almost looks like the Monado, but when you look at it a little bit closer, you also see this other loop here. So this could just be part of the flame effect as well. But if it is Shulk, happy to see him back again. And over here, obviously Bowser. Don't know if there's anything in front of him at all, but it's just, you can just easily tell it's Bowser. This one's most likely Fox. There was like 2 pointy ears there. Some people were thinking of Pikachu, but that's much too high. Fox just makes the most sense, especially if he's like around this height. Then over here, people were speculating Captain Falcon. It's really hard to make out because it just looks like such a generic human shape. It could be Captain Falcon or Ganondorf. But the reason why I wouldn't say it's Ganondorf is Ganondorf should be bigger than that, unless he's just like at a really weird angle like that. But yeah, Falcon, Ganondorf. And then this one did have like 2 little things at the top, so it did seem likely that it could be Wario, but it's like, you know, not exactly to scale to what you would expect. So I do think those are the characters that are listed on here. Part of me would love to be proven wrong, because it'd be really neat if like they showcase like all these new characters here and all of us are just guessing wrong. But I mean, obviously some of them are the staples that we've always had. Unless it's like Dark Samus and like just alternate Mario or just like Cappy Mario, which you could definitely have a different moveset with that, which would be interesting. Yeah, so then that brings us down to port versus new game. So as far as Russ is concerned for a port, you should assume that if you buy like the base $60 game, which I assume it's going to be, then that way you will get all the characters that were just previously released on the Wii U, and then like whatever they announce up until release. Then afterwards, there's probably going to be some new DLC since they made so much bank before. They're going to release amiibos and all that. It'll be a huge selling point for them. They might even re-release amiibos now that I think about it, just because like, you know, new Smash game coming out. If they want to promote that type of feature again, they did so well with it the first time. I don't see any reason for them why not to do it here. But if this is going to be a brand new game, which is what I would like to believe personally, just because the overall tone, and I would just like something new at this point. It's just like, I just kind of feel like Smash 4's kind of run its course, you know, after Zero Saga's kind of ended now. There's not really too many new interesting things. It's just people complaining about Bayo, really. And there's just like a toss up of all these people that can like beat each other. It's like, they can put on great matches for sure, but it's like there's not really anything as much at stake anymore, which is just kind of the unfortunate thing. But if it's a brand new game, then there's a lot to be held up there, which would definitely provide a lot of new interest. So personally, kind of want to go through just like the old Smash 4 roster on who I think would make it in this game personally, if it is a brand new one. So why don't we bring this over here, and then we can dive right into it. Alright, so starting off with the veterans, so Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser, they should all be in there, like, no questions asked. We saw them, basically all of them in the photo, except maybe not Luigi. Yoshi should be surefire. Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, you bet is going to be in there. Link, we already know is going to be in there. Zelda's definitely going to make it in, but the interesting thing that I'm curious to know is if they're going to go with the Breath of the Wild design, or if they're going to go with the Twilight Princess design, because if they go with the Breath of the Wild design, she's not supposed to be able to use magic there. And, you also see her with like a sword and shield and all that. So she could actually have like a very different moveset. Again, with Link too, Link could easily have an extremely different moveset from what he has like generically, just because there's just so much variety and the type of weapons and equipment that you use in that game. It kind of lends itself to just like give him something new. So it would be interesting if we do have Link and Breath of the Wild Link and Toon Link all in the same game. I don't think too many people would really complain about that, because it's like, I would hate to lose standard Link gameplay, but I don't want Breath of the Wild Link to be just limited to standard Link. It's like, if he's just a skin, cool, but there's so much that you have to work with. It's like, you might as well give him something unique and original. Zelda 2, it's like, Zelda's kind of sucked for way too long. And we're going to be honest, like, please modify her moveset, or if you make a brand new one, if you have another Zelda, just don't make it the same. Just give her something new. Make her good. Make her good. A lot of people would enjoy that. Sheik probably in the game, from what we saw there. She's just kind of been a staple of Smash. Don't think she's going anywhere, even if she's, mostly just known for Ocarina. Ganondorf, he should be back. I don't see any reason for him not to be back in the game. It's kind of an easy clone. Sakurai's always said it's his favorite character to play, and a lot of people love playing him as well. I doubt he'll get a moveset change, but it would be a welcome addition. Toon Link should be a surefire in. I don't see any reason why they get him. Samus, basically confirmed at this point. Zero Suit Samus should be in there. I think they want more. I think the main reason why you'll see here is because Metroid Prime 4 is coming out, so they'll probably want more Metroid representation. Which does bring me to some interesting things. I'll go into maybe possible newcomers later. Kirby definitely going to be in it. Sakurai's Creation's not going anywhere. Meta Knight definitely should be in that. Too popular. King Dedede, popular character as well. I don't see him going anywhere. Fox Falco, definitely in it. Pikachu, definitely in. Jigglypuff, just because of OG12 bias, definitely going to be in there. This is where it becomes a little bit more interesting. Mewtwo, just because he's such a popular character, Mewtwo and Charizard, I do see them making it into this game. And again, if it's brand new, just because, like, those are, like, honestly, like, these three Pokemon are just, like, the beloved staples. Like, if you had to choose, like, any three Pokemon to be in this game, those are probably the first three that you would think of that you'd want to play in Smash. And obviously there's a lot of cool new ones that have come out since then that would be really exciting to play as. But it's like, if you want to represent, like, just Pokemon, especially, like, the things that people nostalgically grip to, especially since, for the most part, Switch has been geared more towards an older audience. I think those are the three that are just, like, the surefire safe bet, and plus Jigglypuff. Lucario, I think he's staying, but he's always that one Pokemon that's, like, not as popular as he used to be. You definitely still can sense that here. But, I mean, of course, he did have some really fantastic representation here in Smash 4 with Sue, and somewhat with Day as well. So, definitely has, like, his fan favorite moments, but I think if he comes back in, they'll probably keep the same mechanics, but I really hope they change it up. Something along the lines of Project M would be really, really neat to have. Captain Falcon. No shit, he's in this game. You're not going to have a Smash game without Captain Falcon. It's just impossible. Nash should be in there. Lucas, if they decide to do more with the mother property, he should make it back. I do think he was popular enough that he'll make it back. Barth definitely in this game. Roy is kind of interesting. Oh, okay, I'll say this about all the DLC characters made. Specifically Mewtwo, Lucas, and Roy. I do think because they put the time into making these characters already, like, they went out of their way to actually bring them back in. They'll probably reuse a lot of those assets and probably bring them back in the game if it's like a low minimal effort thing for them. 'Cause, I mean, they put the work into making them. It's like, you might as well have them still. Ike should still be in the game. I would say out of all the lords, he has the highest chance of being scrapped. Besides Corrin, because nobody cared about Corrin. Corrin was like the most underwhelming character. Design's amazing. People like Ike a lot more as far as that goes. It's like Ike's a popular lord, but I don't know statistically how popular he was. And that's where he kind of. Ike is one of the iffy characters. Game & Watch is definitely staying in. Pit, as you saw in the photo, should be in there. Wario's definitely in. Olimar should definitely been there. If it's not Olimar, it'll just be Alf, or if it's not Alf, it'll be... Actually, it would be Alf, because there's nothing else after that. But they did make a new Olimar guy, so it'll probably be Olimar and Alf again. If not, they probably have skins for them. Change them. Actually, this is one thing I do want to say, is if they do go the route with Olimar, is I would like them to do something similar to what they did with the Koopalings, where it's like, they do have at least, let's see, you have Olimar, Louis, Pacho... Then you have Alf, the girl, the green dude. I think you need 2 more skins. Or if not, you make them alternate Olimars. So that way you do have like plenty of characters to work with. And it's not like they really make noises at all. Like they just have the whistle effect. So you wouldn't even have to do that. You would just need actual different skins. But I think that'd be a really cool concept for Olimar. Because I don't know if anybody likes those characters. But they all look distinct enough that it would be easy to tell who you are playing as. But some of them do have different bodies. Like Pacho's fat. So it would kind of mess with some things. Probably like hurt boxes. Rob definitely staying in. Sonic, he should be in. I mean, obviously we have to wait to get the approvals from Sega, but it's like he's in. There's no way he's not in. Rosalina, Luma, they're in. They're too popular in the Mario franchise at this moment for them not to be in. Junior is popular enough as a character that I could see him getting in on that merit alone. And the concept of him was really neat. I don't think anybody hated the concept. It's just they need better execution with him. Just, kind of underwhelming overall. He has some really cool tricks and all, but definitely hope there's some reworking there. Greninja, definitely super popular. And I still think he's really popular today too. So I see him. I kind of see him getting back in. I think most of Fire Element should stay in. The only one that I'm like maybe might get to the chopping block is Corrin, but then again, they did put a lot of effort into making them, so probably still staying in the game. But it's like that would be my pick for voting off the island. Palutena should just make it in just because, just bias with Kid Icarus and Sakurai. Doubt he's going anywhere. Dark Pit, maybe. That's a hard one to call. I feel like he'll make it though, just because of the lack of effort that was really put into him, that he'll probably do it. Villager definitely in. Animal Crossing does so well. It's such a big IP. There's no way that Nintendo wouldn't have that on there. Little Mac Retro, he should make it in. Wii Fit Trainer is strange enough that she may not make it into the next one. I could see her actually being in the chopping block, but then again, she's kind of like one of those so strange ones. Like probably will be in it still. Shulk, Xenoblade did get really popular due to this game, so I could see them wanting to keep him, but he's also another one of those that's kind of on the iffy mark. But there's a good chance he'll make it back. Duck Hunt, Retro Bias, he'll make it in. Mega Man, Pac-Man, Ryu, obviously it's going to depend solely, at least all these DLC, except Bayonetta. I'll get into that a little bit later. All 4 of these DLC characters will just solely depend on if the company lets them use them again. If they do, you're definitely going to see them. If not, then obviously they'll be gone. Bayonetta should definitely be in there just because of the partnership with Platinum and Nintendo as far as bringing her games to life goes. So you can bet you that she's definitely going to be in it, especially for her being the ballot winner too. Now the Mii's, I don't think they'll make it in just because the Mii system is no longer used on Switch. If they do make it in, I do think you're just going to have a generic default Mii, or if you have some way of importing it from the 3DS, I think that's the only way you'll be able to get customized Mii's at that point. But otherwise, there's really no, you can't use their original functionality like you would like to with the Switch, so they're the ones that are like would most obviously be on the chopping block as far as that's concerned. And if you look at their hitboxes, there was like no thought put into them. So that's that. So I guess we'll get to the last clone character, Dr. Mario. I guess if they need a quick character, I can kind of see them putting him back. If he doesn't make it into the base game, I can see him being free DLC if they do decide to go that route with this game. I mean, they're obviously gonna have paid DLC no matter if it's a port or if it's a brand new game. There's gonna be DLC. Port obviously document will be included. If it's not, he could be a DLC character. It's just kind of the way that I see it. But yeah, so that mostly covers it for them. So as far as newcomers go, we do have the Inklings on the way. They're surefire in already. So the other ones that it'll be really interesting to see how they play. I don't want to really speculate too much on movesets until we see them actually in action. But the other characters that I do want to say I think have a good chance, we're definitely getting somebody from ARMS. There's only 2 characters that could possibly fit the bill. Most likely, it's going to be Springman. But if there's going to be another one, probably Ribbon Girl. Because, Ribbon Girl's been pretty popular. They're like basically the 2 main reps, but obviously Springman is the main rep. The only caution I'd have with Ribbon Girl being in is just because she does have a weird jump gimmick, which would be really annoying to deal with, I feel like, in this game. But you never know. Definitely they'll have an arm stage as well, so they could definitely have a lot of fun with that. Especially if they do the Ribbon Girl Arena. That's going to be awesome. Don't tell me you don't want to play on that stage in Smash. That would be the shit. Okay. So, as far as other characters are concerned, Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, very strong candidate to make it in. Xenoblade been heavily advertised by Nintendo of America. It's been getting a lot of popularity recently. They're going to ride that high horse all the way, so you're definitely going to see them make it in. Most likely, they did talk about a new Fire Emblem game coming out, not in this direct, but previously when they announced Switch. So, more than likely, a future Lord, kind of like the same way they handled Cord and Roy, will probably be featured in this game just for how strong the Fire Emblem characters are in Smash Brothers as far as like being available in the game. I do think we'll get a reveal with that. Like, I feel like if they do announce it, the game is going to be announced at E3, then afterwards you're going to get a Smash Bros. Trailer for him. I really do think that's going to happen. You'll probably get a new generation Pokemon, but maybe not. If it's a port, no. New game, yes. That's what I have to say on at least that topic. But the interesting point we come to now is that the factor of overcrowding. I do feel like at this point, when you're going to have an extremely bloated roster, and if they really do intend to change the mechanics of the game, it's going to be kind of hard to balance it out with all of these, so some of these characters will probably have to go. But, if they are able to deliver all of them, holy shit, that's absolutely incredible. But if not, then it's just like, it's understandable. I'm trying to think if there's any other characters I missed. Because of the partnership with Platinum, Wonder Red from Wonderful 101, I do see has a good chance of making it in here. Another more unlikely third-party candidate that could make it in is Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. Just because they do have Bayonetta in this game. No More Heroes has been mostly a Nintendo property that I could kind of see them getting into, just with something being kind of out there, kind of weird, kind of wacky, and celebrates the retro games as well. I could see them trying to do that, but then again, it might be a little bit too much, but then again, they have Bayonetta, so that's possible. Other characters besides him. Trying to think of other big Switch titles. So you got ARMS, you got Splatoon. It'd be great if somebody from that sushi game made it in, but I don't remember if that's a Nintendo game or not. It probably isn't, but it'd be hilarious if they made it in. It'd be interesting if they ever visited back some of their old Melee concepts. Like, there's like this one character that they had in mind that was just like a schoolgirl. I forget her name, but she's like a trophy in Melee. I don't know if she ever made a trophy appearance again. I think she was like a sticker in Brawl. It'd be kind of hilarious if she ended up coming into fruition. But yeah, these off the top of my head, those are the main things I can think of. The only other character I could think that has a chance of making it in would probably be Wolf. Wolf is like still an obvious submission that I'm kind of surprised didn't make it into Smash 4, but here he definitely has a chance of making it back into it. But before we close this off, the other thing I want to talk about is custom moves. I do think that they will make a return. Do you think they're going to change the system on how they're unblocked, though? Because the old system was kind of garbage, and if they do want them to be used for competitive play, then that's definitely something they'll have to look into to changing up for this time around. That is something I do want to talk about, though, is the Nintendo Versus channel. So if you haven't seen it yet. It did actually change quite a bit recently. So instead of it having no mention of Smash Brothers, it's nothing but Smash Brothers now, which is wonderful. So this means there'll probably be some type of circuit similar to what they're doing for ARMS right now. There'll probably be a lot more sponsoring too of events, but hopefully they have more in-person events with actual pop bonuses and all that, and they actually like advertise the sponsors. So people can actually make a living off this game. It should be wonderful to see. But yeah, so this definitely spells bright news, like a bright future for Smash because we were really lacking just for Smash in general because we were lacking sponsors, events, and everything. Just generally losing interest. So definitely a big, huge revitalization tactic with this. Then the other thing that I did want to bring up is the other rumor that was circulating around that because Bandai Namco wasn't mentioned in the trailer at all, that they made that this isn't going to be a port. I want to say that is false. I did go back and look at the old trailers after seeing a tweet that said that the old trailers for Smash Brothers actually didn't list out that Bandai Namco's made on them. And if you look at them, like the reveal trailer, you'll actually see Bandai Namco's not listed on there at all. So just because their name isn't on there doesn't mean that this isn't a port. So there's still a good chance that this could be a port. This could be a Smash 4.5. But for me, personally gunning for a Smash 5. But anyway, that'll conclude it for all my thoughts on there. Let me know, what are your thoughts? Who do you hope gets in? What do you want this game to be? Do you want it to be a straight up port? Do you want it to be more similar to Smash 4, more different? What are some crazy mechanics you could come up with? Let me know in the comments or just hit me up on Twitter. I just love it. When the Smash hype train comes, I just love talking about it. It's just all the speculation, so much fun. So like all the predictions that you can go. It's a great time to be in Smash right now. So with that said, catch you guys later.